guys, what is going on? Welcome to lesson 0 on learning how to code from scratch. Before we begin and before we get our hands dirty with coding and learning new stuff, right? I want to talk a little bit about tools of the trade and things you'll be using on daily basis while coding. So we go from physically what you need, computer and stuff, to the software that you're gonna be using. So this is my setup, and I have 2 screens, as you can see. I hope my camera is a bit shaky maybe, but yeah, anyway. So this is Mr. Deadpool. Respect Mr. Deadpool. Okay, so I'm using 2 screens because I want to be able to split my view into 2 when I'm working on the front end. So when I'm building up a view, it's really good for me to see what I'm doing in the same time when I'm doing that. So this is really important for me because I can keep my code editor on one side and my Chrome browser window on the other, and this really makes my day. So okay, now we're gonna switch over to the desktop. And I'm gonna turn off my camera right now because I don't want that to take your attention. And plus you don't see my ugly face anymore, so that's a plus, right? Anyway, we're gonna talk a little bit first about computer, and your computer is like physically core of what you are gonna be doing and how fast you're gonna be doing that. Let me mention first that you don't need a beast to code. No, really, you only need a lot of memory if you're gonna be using Photoshop to make your own icons and stuff, because that really takes a lot of memory. Photoshop is really RAM eating thing. But other than that, no, you don't need that. You can pass on i3 processor and 8 gigs of RAM, and those are cheap, right? Those are under $150, I think, or even less than that, maybe under $100. So that's really not what you need. You don't need a super fast graphic card as well, because you won't be handling graphics. It's only going to make your page load a bit faster probably, but that's irrelevant for now. So next thing, I want to talk about code editors or IDEs. So yeah, there are 2 tools that I use every day. A code editor, and the other one is IDE, or Integrated Development Environment. So my code editor is Sublime, and I use this for quick fixes, and if I need to get in there and get my hands dirty on something really fast, or something that I'm working online from another FTP server or something, then yeah, I just dig in, open up the file and make changes here, and that's it. But for more sophisticated things, I use IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, and I really recommend you guys to check it out. What I love with this is I don't need to keep my command prompt, or I don't need to keep my command prompt on the other end. I can just, I don't need it because I have a command line here, so I can do stuff, from here, and this really speeds me up. This is really good for me. So these are the websites that you guys can use to check them out. They all have free trials, and we can just give it a go. So sublimetext.com and JetBrains.com/phpstorm. So I really recommend you guys to check it out. If you're really planning on developing, then these are the tools you're gonna be using. Alrighty. Okay, so after you get your code editor, or well, let me just say that there is a lot more code editors. There is Notepad++, there is Vim, and a lot more. So just you can Google around and see what you like. While you're learning, this is not really so important to you, but later on you can make your preference. I like PHPStorm because I can edit it, modify it the way I want, I can bind commands the way I want, and once you get experienced and once you know how things work around, then yeah, you're going to make your preference. But for now, just after you download the code editor, I really need to stress this a lot because you need to take breaks. And this is really important. Take breaks regularly, every half an hour, 45 minutes. Just walk it off. Go drink a coffee with your family members. Walk around a little bit. Turn on the TV. Just relax for a second. Let's say, well, not second. Relax for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then come back. And I guarantee you're going to absorb a lot more knowledge than just sitting down and devouring lessons one by one. So that was my advice for you guys. I'll see you in the next lesson where we're actually starting to get our hands dirty. Alrighty.